Guy, don't go close now. I beg now, don't go shift now. Hey!
You don't know them. Now you go tell them.
Hey! Come up for road.
Oh, sorry.
A memorandum of understanding on the 2023 general election and other elections. Thank you. Please sit down. Please sit down. President of the National Union of Road Transport Workers is also here. Comrade Aliyu Issa Ore. You're welcome. Also recognize the presence of a team of Honorable National Commissioners, Major General Modibo Akali, Dr. Ahmed Kuna, Professor Bolade Ayina, and Rotimi Komi, who is the Chief Press Secretary. We also have many representatives of the various unions. You are all welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Honorable members of the High Table, our long-standing partner, the Independent National Election Commission, represented here by himself, the National Chair. We are very honored by your presence. Our long-standing partners of the National Union of Road Transport Workers, Comrade President, you are very welcome. Good to see you. Also the GS and the Deputy President. It's a pleasure to see you all again. The road safety, you're also very present. To all the other national commissioners and all the other dignitaries, I would beg your pardon to stand, as they say, on the protocols so masterfully established by our Master of Ceremony. Thank you, sir. It is our great honor and pleasure as Friedrich Ebert Stiftung to once again welcome you on this seminal meeting, which is with a very technical title, as you have already known, which is intended to now step down the third MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, reached by INEC and the National Union of Road Transport Workers, as well as the road transport owners and also Maritime Union, this time, for the first time, on the conduct, the logistics, and all the other details, which you will learn later in the proceedings of the day, on the 2023 national elections in Nigeria. The process has been an ongoing one ever since the 2019 elections. Last November, we were all meeting on a MOU review meeting, so all stakeholders have been duly involved in lining out the issues, the challenges, the experiences from the last two national elections when it comes to delivery of ballot boxes, delivery of ballot materials, now also delivery of beavers and all other issues. And all the stakeholders have then agreed to sign to our very meaningful manner the new MOU in December 2022, which now highlights a new avenue for this year's election. That being said, FES has been part of this process ever since the founding of the Fourth Republic, and even before, working in Nigeria for more than 45 years, trying to bring together actors of furthering democracy in this your great nation. And just as I was sitting there waiting for everybody to arrive with the national chairman, I must say also personally, Nigeria has been on a very commendable journey in the past 20 years, but certainly also before, in establishing itself in one of the most highly regarded democracies, certainly in West Africa, with all your challenges. And I don't have to reiterate you to that, because you all live in this country as much as I do, and you all observe it on a daily basis in all your jobs, in all your positions, whatever your provenience, whatever your role. But despite all these challenges, INEC and also NURTW, the under-unions president, also road safety, have done their very best to ensure a peaceful, free and fair election 2023 on the basis of the 2022 Electoral Act. So with that being said, FES is feeling very privileged indeed and has to commend all the stakeholders once again for enabling us to be the co-host of such a momentous occasion. With that being said, I explicitly want to welcome all the state representatives from NURTW who are sitting behind the cameras, and I hope that I can see them later in person as well, to now attend and to also challenge their leadership on how they are supposed to implement this MOU you so duly signed, and how in practice, when the 25th of February come, and also when the gubernatorial elections come, to implement all the agreements which have been made to ensure that after these elections, Nigeria will have a clear answer on the future of the country, will have a credible result, will have had peaceful elections, and a much more prosperous future than before. With that being said, I wish you very open deliberations, a successful meeting, and God bless Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure to now welcome the President of NUR, Tajuddin Barua, to please come and deliver his opening
Now we all
remarks.
stand for the President.
Oh, sit down. Thank you. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. National INEC chairman. Let me just take apology for being late to come here. I'm sincerely deeply sorry for coming late. It's not deliberate. This morning, around 7 o'clock, first DIG in charge of CID called me that he wants to see me for a emergency meeting around 8:30 this morning. And I quickly run to that place. When I get to that place, Israel is yet to come. He now called me, I should wait for him, that he's coming on the way. Very important issue to discuss on part of security. That's why it's not deliberate. Sorry for keeping my national chairman and the entourage here. Sorry. Then today, we are very happy that the National INEC and the entourage which we are in our midst today. The purpose of hearing today is not the first time. We did it 2019 when we signed MOU like this. We want our members to know the importance of this MOU that we signed, that they can hear from God's mouth. It's not that they didn't respect us, they respect us. Whatever we tell them, they know that we did tell them the truth. But we want them, because all 37 states, all 36 states, including Abuja, are here today. The chairman, secretary, treasurer of various states are present here today. And then we have to where we invite them is to hear and knows the importance of MOU that we signed with INEC. And I'm assuring the national
chairman of INEC today that by the grace of God, we are going to discharge this duty as we give to us. And I always promise you, by the grace of God and support our members across states, we will not disappoint Nigerians. Once again, you are welcome to the Minister of National Union of Trans Workers. Thank you.
Another round of applause for the President. Thank you. Mr. Dauda Biu, ably represented by the Assistant Commercial Lizzie Kazim, to please give us some remarks.
The INEC Chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakub, the National Chairman of MOU, Professor Tajuddin Bukule Barua, Dr. Daniel Mann, the resident representative of FES in Nigeria, the Corps Marshal, the entire management of the Corps, before now developed FRSC checklist for the certification of vehicles of the union scheduled for the forthcoming general elections. And we learned that there are some reservations, especially by the union, regarding the checklist, which was to ensure minimum safety standards of all vehicles of the union. And bearing that one in mind, the Corps Marshal agreed and approved review of the checklist for the certification of vehicles for the selection. The checklist certification, which in time past were carried out a day or 2 days to the election, will now be done 2 weeks or 1 week before the election to enable all participants in the election be ready for the various roles they will play. All vehicles inspected and certified will receive a tag from FRSC for proper identification that it has met minimum safety standard. The Corps Marshal is hereby calling on all union leaders to inform their members to follow due process and cooperate with members of the Corps. The Corps Transport Safety Office of the Corps has the review template of the checklist approved. That is the review now by the Corps Marshal, which will be used to certify the vehicles. We wish you all the best in the elections. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you. Thank you. The Corps Marshal of Federal Safety Corps, ably represented. Please permit me to recognize the presence of Honorable Transport Workers, Alaji Kabiru Adoyao. Welcome. It's my pleasure at this point to invite the Chairman of Yakubu to please give us a good message. Honorable Chairman.
Oh, President! Progress! Progress! National! If you talk alone,
the President of the National Union of Road Transport Workers, Tajuddin Ibikule Barua, the representative of the Corps Marshal Federal Road Safety Corps, the National Secretary of the Union and other senior officials, State Chairman of the Union, Honorable National Commissioners INEC, our development partner Frederick Eber Stiftung, represented here by the resident representative Dr. Daniel Mann, the media, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to thank the President and leadership of the National Union of Road Transport Workers for the kind invitation to this sensitization meeting involving your National Executive Council members, together with the national officers, zonal officers, state chairmen, and other senior officials of the Union. I am glad to note that this meeting seeks to achieve 2 objectives. First is to put finishing touches to the implementation of a memorandum of understanding signed between the Commission and the unions about 2 months ago on 20th December 2022. Secondly, to conclude on the modalities for the certification of vehicles by the Federal Road Safety Corps in the light of the emphasis we place on the safety of election personnel and materials. The issue of logistics has been a perennial problem in election administration in Nigeria. That is why for 3 electoral cycles, INEC has collaborated with the road transport unions to address the problem. For the 2023 general election, the Commission has included the Marine Workers Union of Nigeria for efficient maritime transportation. The time has come to stop all excuses and provide effective logistics to ensure hitch-free arrangement for the 2023 general elections. Nigerians should not wait for the arrival of personnel and materials at the polling units. Rather, we should be there waiting for the arrival of voters. We believe that this is achievable. Recent elections have shown that working in partnership with the unions and other stakeholders, we can achieve this objective. And this is a patriotic duty, and we should all make the necessary sacrifice in the national interest. The Commission is aware that this is an enormous task. Election is the largest deployment a nation periodically undertakes, and mobilization of vehicles for election is a large and complex exercise. However, this comes only once in 4 years. What is critical here is forward planning. We have presented to the Union the number and specifications of the vehicles required for the election. We have also indicated to you the locations where the vehicles are needed. Happily, your members are spread across the country. Therefore, vehicles conveying personnel and materials will not travel long distances. In fact, all movements should be within a state and preferably within local government areas. There should be no interstate movement. I should also remind you that our MOU covers both forward and reverse logistics. This means that there is an obligation to return the personnel and materials to designated locations after the election. When you take the election duty staff, particularly those deployed to the polling units, please don't abandon this ad hoc staff, particularly the youth corps. We have a responsibility to take them to locations in safety and to bring them back in safety to where we took them. We are working with the security agencies to ensure the safety of your members and their vehicles during the election. Just like our election duty personnel, the safety of your members is paramount. That is why in the most recent elections conducted by the Commission, the leadership of your union, particularly the National Union of Road Transport Workers at state level, attended several meetings with our officials and the security agencies. We also ensured that the union was represented in our situation room to coordinate the deployment of vehicles and the security of drivers. We'll ensure that a similar arrangement is made nationwide for the general election. The Commission shares your concern about the fuel situation in the country and its impact on transportation on election day. The truth is that our arrangements may be negatively affected by the non-availability of products. For this reason, the Commission will this afternoon meet with the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited to look into ways to ameliorate this situation. I wish to assure Nigerians that we will continue to engage every national institution for the success of the 2023 general election. I can't conclude my remarks without reminding you of your obligation to neutrality. The work of INEC requires non-partisanship. Working in partnership of the Commission, you will be required to subscribe to the oath of neutrality and to demonstrate your non-partisanship in the work you do practically on election day. Once again, I thank the Union for the invitation. I wish you happy deliberations, and may God bless our efforts. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman, INEC. Another round of applause for our Chairman, please.
We will provide you with the numbers, with the specifications, and with the routes that you will deliver our personnel and materials on election day. In time past, we hear various stories. They require 20 vehicles. By the time we got there, they said they needed only 10. That is a thing of the past. If we request for 10, we will take 10. So if there are issues, your national leadership and state leadership are in collaboration with us, and please let us know these issues. I think another important point is what the chair has also mentioned. We want your vehicles to be safe. We don't want them to break down on the day of election in such a way that on the way to the polling unit, we will be looking for substitute or so. So, we agree that you will bring those vehicles for certification. And I think the second part of the workshop will deal with this. But please bring your vehicles for certification to know that at least on the day of election, they will not break down. I'm sure the road safety people will not be asking you for new tires. But we have agreed that we will work in a cooperative spirit to at least maintain some level of minimum safety to ensure that our men and material get to destination safely. And lastly, I think the Commission is also interested to ensure that we keep a record of those people who have discharged their roles and responsibility honorably, and we should be able to give them commendation for good service. You also have responsibility, so it's not only the Commission that has responsibility to you. You also have responsibility to us. And the first responsibility is what I've said from the beginning. You must support us to deploy our personnel and material to election locations, most especially the 176,846 polling units on election day. There is no compromise on that. Okay? State chapters, leaders of state chapters, please, there is no compromise on that. Don't start looking for fuel on the morning of 25th February or on the morning of 11th March. Don't start looking for spare tires. Don't start looking for jacks. All right? All we want on the morning of 25th February and 11th of March is that here are the personnel, here are the materials. Please take them safely to the respective locations. That is your major responsibility to the Commission. The second important obligation is that once we provide you with the number and specification of the vehicles that we need and have agreed on, you must also provide us with the details of these vehicles and their drivers, so that if there are issues on the way, we will be able to contact the driver and say, "Oga, where are you?" So please document your drivers. The agreement also made provision for this, but please document your drivers. You must provide us with their names, you must provide us with their address, you must provide us with their telephone numbers. It is important that this is done. It is also important that once we agree on where inspection of your vehicles will be done, please don't keep the road safety people waiting. Let us agree on the, but please find time within the stipulated period to take your vehicle for inspection, because we will not procure you for election duty. We will issue you with a certification poster which you will paste on your vehicle. We will give you 50% before you start, and we will give you 50% before when you complete the work. So don't go and harass our AOs that if you don't get your money, you won't go. Please make sure you tell your members the importance of this. Of course, you know you are responsible for coordinating. And I think one innovation that we have said is that you will either you will be with us or you will nominate some. Please sit down. You will nominate somebody who will be with us in the National Situation Room. You will be with us. Thank you. I know once you command your members, they behave like soldiers. They obey you. So please make sure that you are with us in the National Situation Room to address issues as they arise. I think lastly, one important point that we need to stress so that it does not become a fight with our EOs. Nobody will be paid in cash. Nobody will be paid in cash. All of this is federal government policy. It is not INEC policy. So please don't go to our EOs and start demanding cash from them. You will not be paid in cash. All transactions will be through the banks. All transactions will be through the bank.